After Trent made his way into the pitch for Liverpool at Anfield yesterday, it doesn't sound like a reception you'd expect for someone who was just born around the stadium, around the corner from the stadium, made his way through the academy to play more than 300 games for Liverpool, lifted 2 Premier Leagues as well as the Champions League, FA Cup and League Cup, and his final act will be lifting a record equalling 20th top flight title. Gabby, I think you and I are of the same opinion, mate.
Yeah.
We will back the Liverpool fans' right to boo or cheer or have their opinion or say what they think. But A, I didn't think it was a good look, and B, I just thought it was wrong, mate. Where were you in it?
I'm with you, Ali. I didn't like it at all. Both of us have been players on that pitch, and the emotions you're going through as a player. And I saw the camera on his face right when the booing happened, and he looked like very emotional. But I felt he kept himself well, Ali. He didn't react to it. And even after the game, he walked around the pitch clapping the fans because he wants the fans to still love him. He loves Liverpool. And he's not leaving after not achieving at the club, Ali. I mean, like you read out there, Ali, Champions League, 2 Premier Leagues, 2 Carabao Cups, an FA Cup, FIFA Club World Cup, UEFA Super Cup, 23 goals, 86 assists in all competitions, 64 in the Premier League, youngest player to win 6 trophies, major trophies. Like, this kid has done it all. He gets one go at this. Does he want to come back in 20 years, look back and say, oh, I turned down Real Madrid, kids? Speaking to his kids, I turned down Real Madrid. How?
It's certainly the topic of conversation. 03717 223344 is the number to call, and the man that's done that is Lee. Lee's a Liverpool fan.
Good
morning, Lee. How are you?
Hello, I'm okay.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us. What did you think of the whole situation yesterday, mate?
Made up, I was booing as loud as I can. I'm sick of all these people telling us how to feel, Liverpool fans. Let's get one thing straight. And you, Gabby, you go on about Real Madrid. Winning a Prem with Liverpool is 100 times better than winning 10 Champions League with Madrid. We made him a millionaire. We've given him a lifestyle, the fans, everything. Where's the loyalty from Trent? And when he was knocking at Klopp's door, let me be a captain of Liverpool club. I want to stay for the rest of my life. I want to be the next Stevie Gerrard, Jamie Carragher. Trent will never be allowed back at Liverpool club.
What's he done for you, though, Lee?
I hate him.
What's he done for you?
Well, all right, we've made him a multi-millionaire.
But what has he done for your football club?
He never scored the goals. Mo Salah won the Prem.
So on his own? No assists from Trent.
Trent hasn't won on with Liverpool. Trent hasn't won on with Liverpool. He's a traitor.
So Trent hasn't given 86 assists to Liverpool, 23 goals.
You know how much money he's getting a week for that?
And how much money are other players getting at the club?
150 grand a week. It's 150 grand, but we pay the Liverpool fans. He's a traitor. I don't think when he's retired that he can come back and talk about when he won 2 premierships and the Champions League. Them days are gone.
I think you're out of line, Lee. You're out of line,
all right,
mate.
Lee, I've got to say, mate, I don't agree. I think the word traitor's a ridiculous word to use. I can understand your frustration, but I think the word traitor certainly is absolutely ridiculous.
I think as well, some of these fans, I feel that give it a year or two, and I think they will calm down, and they will look back at his career, what he's done for their club, what he's won, goals, assists.
Yeah.
Come on, even go back to the corner versus Barcelona.
I can understand right now it's really heated. Emotions are running very, very high. We're going to get the thoughts of Daily Mail Merseyside writer Dom King. Dom, very good morning to you, mate.
Help us out, Dom.
Good morning,
Dom.
Good morning, gents. You're all right.
Thanks for joining us, pal. You heard Lee there. Lee's entitled to his opinion, but come on, Tom. Traitor? You kidding me on, aren't you?
No. Lee's there. Look, everybody is entitled to their opinion, and it is a highly emotional time.
Yes.
But I was in the cop yesterday with one of my boys, and the split seemed to be between older people, older fans like who've been around and seen it, and the younger fans. But the booing just it changed an atmosphere of celebration into sort of really febrile and awkward and tense, and it contributed to Liverpool not winning that game. Absolutely. Yeah. If you want an insight into what the dressing room will think about it, Have a look back at the footage of when Trent walks in front of the cop and he got booed. And I looked at some of the anger on some people's faces as they were screaming at him. But I also looked at Dominic Szoboszlai, who's one of his really good mates, and he just looked up at the cop and shook his head. Now, there's players who've been at the club for 1 or 2 years who aren't from around the area will not be able to fathom what happened yesterday, and it'll take them some time to get over. And listen, I just want to address something that Lee said about being a traitor. And that's a dreadful word to use in anything. You know, let's think about the context of that.
Agreed.
But let's just think about this. 12 years ago, in the summer of 2013, Arsenal pursued Luis Suarez all summer. They made a bid of £40 million and £1 to try and sign him. Suarez tried to engineer that move. He tried to get away. He down tools. He left training sessions. He did things that were not like him at the time. He came back and got a hero's reception. Doesn't add up. This it does not add up. Trent is getting look. If you speak as a Liverpool fan, do you want to see Trent go? Absolutely not. He's going to a competitor. How Real Madrid have done it all the way through, I can understand, totally understand everybody's anger about how this has played out. But all the way through this, Trent's never missed a training session. He showed up every time that he could. And 3 weeks ago, he scored the goal at Leicester that put Liverpool on the cusp of winning the league. So let me ask you this as well. In 2 weeks' time, when they get the trophy, what happens? Is he not allowed to pick the trophy up? Because if he does, is he going to get booed? What's the atmosphere going to be like that day? I don't think he can play for Liverpool. I don't think he can play for Liverpool now. I really don't. But
I've got to say, Dom, sorry, Gab. I've got to say, mate, right, see what you've just said there. I think that is just such a sad indictment and an end. I actually think that is actually a stain, excuse me, Dom, a stain on arguably the greatest supporters, you know, football fans all over the world. That's a stain on them if he is not allowed to lift that trophy, Dom.
Well, listen, I'm only speculating. I'm just trying to sort of put sort of situation.
But I take your point.
But you're right as well. Yeah. Another thing that I hated about yesterday, I really hated about this. Everybody who's got an axe to grind against Liverpool, and there's lots of people that don't like the club from outside. I come from the city and know exactly what people from outside of the city think about Liverpool if they've got a certain perception. That's given them the easiest target to heap criticism on. It's just an easy target. Put easy point scoring out to the Scousers again. It was absolutely ridiculous. There was ways and means of showing your frustration. You don't do anything. You sing for Conor Bradley. You sing for someone else. You don't have to show it that way.
Dom, watching the game, I was hoping that the ball didn't come to him. That's how cringy I felt watching it. I was nervous for the ball to actually go to Trent whenever it did.
Gabby, you weren't alone. There was people around by where I was sitting yesterday that were thinking exactly the same thing. And when they got the free kick, there was a real split. There was like lads jumping up, shouting, "Come on, Trent, put it away," and then others who you could see were bristling about the fact, how can that be? Liverpool trying to score against Arsenal, and you don't know whether you want Liverpool to score. Madness, absolute madness.
I've got to say, the fact that you also said it affected the game is remarkable, and I agree with you as well. I actually did think of the game. On another note, will you be at Goodison for the final game at the weekend, mate? I'm very fortunate enough to be working at it. And by the way, I've got to say, mate, we know time moves on, but there's part of me gutted because I've had some unbelievable games in there. I've thoroughly enjoyed Goodison.
Ali, I've had the privilege of working at Goodison for 20 years. I am under the lights. It was an experience that everybody who loves football should have had an opportunity to sample. David Moyes has come back and done a brilliant job in terms of ensuring the last 5 or 6 games of Goodison could be enjoyed by getting Everton to the points that they can. It's going to be a very, very sad day, and I know time moves on. But what a stadium that was to watch football in. it's going to be a very, very emotional day.
I hate you playing there, Dom. I hate you playing there. The fans are on top of you. You're getting all sorts while someone takes the throw in. It was an intimidating stadium for sure.
Gabby, you used to get all sorts when you walked into the press box as well.
Brilliant, Dom. Listen, thanks for your time this morning, mate. Have a good week. We'll hopefully see you on Sunday.
See you soon,
Thanks, Pam.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.